Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News, Republican National Committee overwhelmingly votes to censure Cheney, Kinzinger for sitting on January 6th panel. Yeah. The resolution says Cheney, Kinzinger are participating in Democratic-led persecution of ordinary citizens engaged in legitimate political discourse. For the most part, I agree with that. Let's tell the truth here. There was probably maybe, I'm just guessing from videos that I've seen, between 75 and 100, maybe 120 that actually committed really unlawful acts that weren't trespassing, or, one guy got charged because he was standing on a podium with a statue, and so he was doing something against a historical statute or some nonsense. If you didn't destroy anything, if you just walked around, you didn't do anything at all except for just look, give them a trespassing ticket and let them go on their way. There's people committing felonies all over Washington, D.C., which is technically federal territory, federal jurisdiction, let's tell the truth. And yet nothing happened. Many of these people are in jail for over a year before even a trial. Does that sound like justice to you? In an overwhelming voice vote by committee members gathered for a general session of their winter meeting in Salt Lake City, Utah, the RNC rebuked Representatives Liz Cheney of Wyoming and Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. The resolution also states the RNC would no longer support them as members of the Republican Party. You know what? I'm going to applaud that. I'll tell you why. They were handpicked by Nancy Pelosi, who is the Speaker and the head of the Democratic Party, who have the majority in the House. Kevin McCarthy's minority leader. It's his job to pick Republicans' representation on the committee. He wasn't even asked. Cheney and Kinzinger basically volunteered, or Pelosi asked them on the QT, and they said, yeah, they give the illusion of bipartisanship. Even if their intentions were good. It's a kangaroo court, all one-sided. Believe me, if the reverse was true, they would be screaming to high heaven. But the hypocrites they are, you get this. Nothing. And that's the way it is. This is all about one simple thing. And Chuck Schumer admitted it, about getting rid of the filibuster, packing the Supreme Court, the January 6th Commission. He said, what's changed? 2 words, he said. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a tremendous ass. He has an incredible ego. Sometimes he's about as subtle as a train wreck. Sometimes he says and does things he shouldn't. That pretty much describes most of us, but I do have to say, though, he gets the center of the attention. Yeah, he's a dick sometimes. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if the guy that fixed the roof of my house and does a great job at a decent price is a jerk. I don't care. I don't care if I'm rushed to the emergency room and need an operation, and there's 2 doctors there, and I go, which one's the nicer person? I could care less. I want the person that will do the best job, and that was Donald Trump by far. They gave you the line that Joe Biden was just going to be plain old, quiet, neat, nice guy, Uncle Joe, that just wouldn't stir the pot any. He would just go along to get along, just fill in the position, just to keep Donald Trump out. Well, we found that's not true. He went so far left to the progressives, and the progressives don't think he's gone far enough. He's ruining the office of the presidency. Yep, Donald Trump had a mouth on him. Yep, sometimes he said things in tweets he shouldn't have. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that he bought McDonald's food for the football players from the college championship. I don't care. I don't care if he got 2 scoops of ice cream. I don't care. I don't care. He said he had the biggest inauguration audience ever in the history of the presidency, when technically he didn't. I don't care. I don't care. As far as Kinzinger goes, what was his reward? Turned on his own people, turned on his own party, sided with people that have no interest in the country and the average person at all. And what was his reward for all of that? When they redid the lines for the congressional district in Illinois, they chopped in the pieces, so there's no way he could possibly win re-election. So he had to retire. And even still, he sides with them after they screwed him over. And that's a big screw job. He says he's going to retire. There's no way he can win. They gerrymandered around, so there's no possible way a Republican can win. Did they even say to him, hey, you know what, Adam, we're not going to have a Democratic opponent for you this time if you side with us? They didn't even do that. Or we'll put a really crappy one up. They didn't even do that. Side with us. We're doing stuff that's, I believe, is unlawful, certainly immoral, and your reward's going to be nothing. Not just nothing, we're going to screw you over. And he went, oh, okay. Liz Cheney's part of the old neocon Republican warmongers. And believe me, there's a lot of Democrat warmongers, too. The Uniparty. The Uniparty that's gotten this country right down the tubes since basically the mid-late 1970s, where the slide really accelerated. Let's read on. The rebel DNC, the Democratic National Committee, reacted to the news. Republican Party has no shame. You got a serious set of balls. Donald Trump incited his supporters to storm the Capitol, attack police officers, smear feces on the wall, and try to overturn an election. In no world is that legitimate political discourse. That's a lie. They can't show one instance in that speech in the day or speeches prior to that where he even come close to any of it. I watched the speech numerous times. He incited them to put feces on a wall, overturn an election. He wanted Mike Pence not to count some of the electors. From Trump's point of view, that was legitimate and legal, which technically it was. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But here's the thing. Donald Trump is dangerous to both sides of the aisle. To the old school neo-Dems, he is Hitler incarnate. And to the old Republican neocons, he's a dangerous threat to the uniparty system that's been going on for decades. He said he was going to do it. I'm going to go in there and clean house. He didn't. And I'm a big Trump supporter, and for that I criticize him greatly. He should have cleaned house, fired everybody he could, and the ones that he couldn't that were part of the deep state that are actually working against his presidency, send them all in a room somewhere to count paper clips and still get paid, so that way the union, they don't lose their pension. That's what I would have done. I'm not going to read this whole article. I'll breeze through it. You can stop it and read it if you want to. Republicans have to stand together, and what has happened in this January 6th investigation is it has become a one-sided witch hunt, which it is. And it's starting to unravel. Look at what's happening to CNN. Look what's coming around now in some of the MSNBC, ABC, CBS, all the lamestream media. It's unbelievable. And they're only going after Republicans and people that were at the rally. They have a right to be at that rally. An absolute right. Unbelievable to me. It's okay, though, if you went around and torched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buildings, caused over $1 billion in damage, dozens of deaths. That's standing up for your rights. There was between 300,000 and 400,000 people at that rally in Washington, January 6th. And 100, maybe 150 got into the Capitol, mostly let in. And there was only one death and one gun there. That was a Capitol police officer that shot a Trump supporter that went through a window that was already open. If that was an insurrection, they really sucked at it. They brought zero weapons. You think they were going to overthrow the government of the United States with no weapons? It makes no sense. People were frustrated and they were angry. And the Democrats used that with informants and instigators in the crowd to get them going, and yes, they did it. Yes, they did it, and some of them should be in jail for assault on police officers, destruction of property, but the vast majority, 90+%, were just simply trespassing. Jesus, they were taking selfies with Washington officers, for Pete's sake, and look at the vandalism. There wasn't any. The rotunda was intact. The congressional chamber was intact. Yeah, I think somebody took a dump in Pelosi's office. That one I actually applaud. That's about it. Paper strewn around. There was no permanent damage. Less than 2 hours, 3 hours later, they were voting on the Electoral College. Just as if nothing happened. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. But these two morons here have caused more damage to their country than anything else. What do they get out of it? I really don't know. Do they really believe this crap? I know Cheney doesn't. But Kinzinger? I thought he was smarter than that. I thought he was smarter. He said, okay, to Nancy Pelosi, you want to put two Republicans, myself and Ms. Cheney here? That's fine. We want our fair share of representation. Granted, we can't have a majority on the committee because we don't have a majority in the House. Fine. But just those two only makes it a farce. Shame, shame on you. How does that go when I used to be a councilman in upstate New York, when I used to be mad at the opposition? I wish you all well. I just wish you well somewhere else. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.